Work on a vaccine for COVID-19 continues, and from Australia, the company Novavax has started its phase 1 clinical trial for its version. More than 100 people have volunteered to be part of that trial. The company expects to have some sort of preliminary results to report in July. And with scientists around the world in the race to try to make a vaccine for the novel coronavirus, a poll of Americans asking how many would actually even get vaccinated if one was available. Well, those numbers came back surprisingly low. So we want to discuss that with our 9 Health expert, Dr. Pyle Coley. So what did you find? What did the results of this survey show to you?
So, Tom, I was actually really surprised with the results because 79% of people actually said that a vaccine would be important to open up businesses. Yet only 49% of them said that they would actually get it. 20% of them actually said they would not get it. And if you look at this graph here, you can see in orange are the people who said they would get it. Gray is the people who are not sure. And blue is the people who say they would not get it. So you can see the older Americans are more likely to get it. Also, those people who are worried about somebody in their household are more likely to get it. But despite blacks and Hispanics being higher at risk, they're actually less likely to get it than whites.
So we're hearing different things, of course. Obviously, this animates the anti-vaccine community. There are other people who seem to be afraid of the term Operation Warp Speed, meaning that they have not fully tested the potential for side effects. What do you think is the crux of the reluctance for many people?
So the survey also looked at that information, and in fact, 7 out of 10 people said safety was their main concern, that they were worried that the vaccine wouldn't be tested enough because of Operation Warp Speed, we would be cutting corners. 4 out of 10 of them actually worried that the vaccine would give them the infection, which we know is not going to happen because all the vaccines that are being tested in the clinical trials don't have a form of the virus that can actually infect you. And 3 out of 10 people actually just weren't worried about catching COVID themselves, and that's the reason they decided not to get the vaccine.
So here's a tough question because it's hypothetical. There is no vaccine yet to judge, but say one is made available. There is a vaccine that people will put forward to the world. What would your advice be to people when that vaccine is available? What should they do?
So, Tom, everything in life is a risk-benefit analysis, and every single thing we do, whether it's leaving our house, getting in a car, flying in a plane, they all have some finite risk to it. We know for a fact that vaccines reduce disease transmission. We also know that some vaccines have actually been helpful in eradicating diseases. Now, certainly we are trying to speed up the development of this vaccine, and which means that once it becomes available, it could potentially have some risks. But I would say for the most part, if we have really gone through the process of rigorously vetting it and we've approved it for mass distribution, people should try to get it. And if you're one of those people that thinks that, they would rather not get it or may not benefit from getting it, then I think talk to your doctor before you turn it down and make up your mind. But what I don't want to happen is for this to turn into some sort of a political war, because they also looked at actually the political alliances of people, and they saw that those who were Democrats were more likely to get vaccinated than those who were Republicans.
Well, everything seems to have a political tinge to it. Do you also think it would have an impact if that vaccine was discovered in America, say, as opposed to China, or even a more friendly or more common European nation?
Absolutely. I think it certainly could, because a lot of suspicion has, been around the scientific processes of some of the data emerging out of China. So I think if it was coming out of America or Europe, Oxford vaccine, for example, and distributed in a way that people felt comfortable, it would increase the compliance. But I really want to drive home the point that this is not just like any other infectious disease. It is a significant pandemic. And even though the numbers of people that are not wanting to get this vaccine is similar to the flu, this is not the flu.
All right, Dr. Pyle Coley, we always appreciate your time. Thanks again.